First off, congrats to you, chap. I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, so we appreciate all your work and what you've done here. Obviously, I've been here just a short period of time, but really appreciate what you do, for sure. And then I'll start off, JT and Buck will practice today. So great news there.
Just in your first look at Houston this week, how much, if anything, is different than what you saw week 1, do you think?
I think they're doing some good things. Obviously, their record speaks for itself. They're a talented group. I think defensively, they do a great job of flying around. And then they got a lot of star power on offense, too. I know Nico's out, but Tank Dell's a hell of a player, so is Diggs, and Mixon, and the quarterback's playing good, and Schultz, the tight end. So they know us, we know them. It'll be a hell of a challenge going down there, but we're fired up for the challenge.
With Buck and with JT to play Sunday, will you see how the week goes with each one of them, or is it a stretch to have Buck play after 5 weeks?
Yeah, we'll see how the week goes, but feel really good about it.
Yeah. Back to week 1, you guys had the big plays. What were your kind of takeaways and not being able to get them on?
Say that again.
Week 1, you guys had the big plays, but came up short. What were your takeaways kind of looking back at that game?
Yeah, I think there's just some opportunities in the game, too. I think, obviously, it was 13-15 at one point. We went for 2, didn't get it, and then they scored. And then we kind of stalled a little bit and then created the big plays late in the game, to get back in it. So, obviously, creating those earlier in the game and maintaining drives offensively will be big, and then eliminate the explosives that they have on offense will be big for us.
Shane, tell the truth, please. Did you know Chapel was before you got here? Like, did you know that? I'm just wondering, does the name Chap resonate? Did
yes,
you know?
big time name around the league.
Yeah.
Yep, no doubt.
What would, if JT's able to play, what would that do for your run game?
It'll be huge. Obviously, we know what JT brings to the table. Goody and Trey have done a hell of a job, but, getting JT back in the fold will be big. Those home run plays and the run game will be huge for us.
When you're able to win some games without Buck, without JT, and then you kind of add them back in for this stretch, just what does that do, like middle of the season for a team getting those players?
I think it's big. I think the guys that have had to step up in those situations have done a hell of a job. But getting those guys back will be big for us, obviously in the middle of the season. Obviously, this is a huge game going to Houston for the division, to tie the division will be big. So week 8 is huge for us. And then obviously going into that, November, December stretch with those guys getting them back will be big.
I know you've only been here a short time, but does it feel like a rivalry with these guys?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it started last year, just the way things ended last year. So, but yeah, these are always big games. I think all division games are kind of rivalry-ish, whoever it is. But this one will be big for us. He should be out there.
Shane, in what way are you guys different from that first meeting?
I think we've, the resilience of this group, we've found ways to win close games. Obviously, we've had a ton of them. But again, I don't think we've played our best ball. And, we want to put that together. And this week would be a great weekend to do that. But a lot of faith and trust in our guys, like I've said all year, just finding ways to win has been huge.
How do you think your DB room in particular has kind of grown throughout the season, and what do you expect from them getting tested more this weekend going forward?
Yeah, it's been big. I mean, those guys have been playing great. Adding Sam to the fold at the corner spot, he's been playing really good ball. Jalen Jones has stepped up, in his second year, and Kenny Moore has been a staple for us back there. And Nick Cross and Julian have been playing great. So, again, those guys have been sticky in coverage. They've done a nice job staying on top of certain things, but great. They've been great in the run game too, tackling. Especially Nick, fitting up runs. He's had a ton of tackles. He's playing good ball. So those guys continue to develop and keep growing, which is good, and we got to keep that going.
Shane, how much, when you look back on Sunday, the passing game struggles, was it like pre-snap, just knowing where Miami's rushers are coming from, knowing where to go with it, those sorts of things?
I think it was a little bit of everything, to be honest. They got some pressure there on some certain things. But again, we always try to get those things cleaned up, moving in week to week.
What about the importance of reps with Anthony? I mean, even when he's not maybe hitting these throws, how valuable is it to get full games for him to be able to look at the film and make improvements on some of these?
Yeah, it's huge. We're, like I said early in the season, we're just trying to look for growth week in and week out. You know what I mean? And I think he's played 9 games in the NFL now and going into another one with an opponent that he's went against so it's good. He's seen some familiar faces, so excited for Sunday for him.
How does he kind of react to this? Is he able to stay patient with that idea of growing?
Yeah, he's been great. His preparation, his work ethic has been tremendous. You know what I mean? There's going to be ups and downs through an NFL season, and it's how you handle that adversity and fight through those things. But, we're finding ways to win. You know what I mean? It wasn't the prettiest thing last week from any of us, and we found a way to win. So that's what we're trying to get done.
He rarely gets sacked. How much of that just innate ability versus also seeing and making sure he's reading the right things?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, understanding where it's coming from and if you're going to have a free runner. But I think it's his natural ability, too, to get out of some of those things like he did last week. His physical ability to spin, move out, get out of the pocket, and create plays with his legs has been big.